Venezianico, the team over in Italy, are back with yet another new dial. This is their last release of 2025. It's a limited edition, and this is a dial that I've never seen on a dive watch before. It is made out of opal. This is very colorful. It almost looks like a mosaic dial. However, from far away, it looks like a uniform color. I have one hands-on to show you guys. So let's flip the camera and take a look at the latest release from Venezianico. A dive watch with an opal dial. If I had seen this watch or this dial prior to making my top watches of 2025, I probably would have included this watch. When they first reached out to me about reviewing this watch, I wasn't too sure about an opal dial because I've seen them so many times on dress watches. This is the first time I've ever seen an opal dial on a dive watch, and also a watch that is relatively inexpensive when compared to other brands that have used opal dials. Usually they are very expensive. The reason why this one is on the more affordable side is because this is lab-grown opal. It is not natural opal, but I believe most of the opal that you see in dials and in jewelry are lab grown. So I'm not sure why most other watches that I've seen with opal dials are pretty expensive, because I would imagine those are lab grown as well. But we're not talking about those watches. We're talking about this watch. This is a Venezianico. It is a 200-meter dive watch. It gets a tungsten bezel. So they've really become known for the materials that they are using for their dials and bezels. They use a lot of tungsten because it's extremely scratch resistant. It looks black in certain lights. It looks silver in others. I really love a tungsten bezel also. It adds a lot to the bezel action. The bezel action with a tungsten bezel is excellent. So you get a stainless steel bezel, but the insert is made out of tungsten, which is heavier than stainless steel. Let's listen to the bezel action. Really great bezel action, very distinct clicks, very loud clicks, and it feels wonderful. And that's because you get that stainless steel and tungsten combination for the bezel. The dial, though, is really the news here. You have a very colorful dial, even though it's not really all one color. It sort of meshes together to an aqua blue, I would say. It's like an aqua blue opal. But there are plenty of other colors when you look close at this dial. It's like a little bit of a mosaic dial of opal. It's beautiful. You have applied indices. Those indices are applied to the minute track, which then straddle over the dial, which they've been doing for a while now, and I think that looks great. Then you have their applied logo. That's at the 12 o'clock, or right below the 12 o'clock. You have beaver teeth at the 12 o'clock. All the indices and hands are loomed. Just a tiny little rectangle on that seconds hand that gets a little bit of lume, but we'll look at the lume shot in a few seconds. And you have segmented fence post hands. Those are loomed. You also have a date at the 3 o'clock. I'm not in love with the date on this dial because they've been doing some really cool things with dials, and adding a date on this dial, you know, for me, I don't really care about the date, so it really doesn't make all that much of a difference. I know a lot of people want a date. That's the reason why they put the date. But again, that is just a personal preference. I think it looks good, though. You have a little surround around. It's a little metallic surround. It looks very good. And there is really no chapter ring here. It's just that minute track with the indices that are applied there. And then you have that opal dial. Beautiful opal dial. When I move it around, it really does light up, and it's just really interesting. It's a beautiful, bright dial, very legible, and it's glossy also. So there's a lot going on there, but it sort of meshes together to a beautiful bluish aqua color. And then when you look closely, like I said, you get all those other colors as well. Screwed in crown, screwed in case back. You do get a display case back on this watch because they are giving you the SW200 in this watch with their custom rotor. And I love their custom rotor because it is skeletonized, it's finished beautifully. It makes the Sellita SW200 look a lot more expensive than it actually is, just by putting a custom rotor on it. I think it looks fantastic. And the bracelet itself is a great bracelet. This is their Casanova bracelet, and you can see it's sort of angled, multi-link bracelet that It just feels really nice in hand. It's really nicely made. You have polishing down those two center links. The center link itself is brushed and the outer links are brushed, and you have polishing on the sides. So very, very nice bracelet. Solid end links. No quick release. I wish there was some quick release on here, and then I wish there was a little bit of on-the-fly micro adjust. You get a very nice clasp on here with their logo that is applied to the clasp itself. You have polishing down the center, brushing down the sides. Nice push button enclosure, but you only get 4 positions of micro adjust. That's actually not that bad. I wish they put a little bit of on-the-fly micro adjust on this watch. I think it definitely deserves it because it is such a beautiful dive watch. A little bit of on-the-fly micro adjust would really make this, bring it to a new level. On my wrist today, I have a very odd watch. This is a parallel with a peripheral rotor. That's actually the rotor. That silver part of the dial is really the rotor. It looks awesome. It's a very cool watch, very weird, and this is on a bracelet, which they've never done before for this specific watch. This is their lab series. Really like this watch. Review for this dropping soon. And there is the Venezianico on my 7.5-inch wrist. This is a 42 millimeter watch. It measures in at 42 millimeters, spot on at the bezel, slightly smaller at the case. So I would say it visually looks like a 42 millimeter watch. You have a 50 millimeter lug to lug and a 12.1 millimeter thickness. On my 7.5-inch wrist, this watch looks great. On a strap, this wears exactly the same as it does on the bracelet because you do get female end links on the Casanova bracelet. I think that this looks really good on this bracelet, but I would imagine it really looks good on a strap as well. I think it only comes on the bracelet because this is a limited edition of 500 pieces. So they are only selling 500 of these. They are only making 500 of these dials. And once it's sold, that is it. We'll talk about price in just a second, but we're going to do a Lume shot because obviously Venezianico dive watch, they do a pretty good job with Lume. Let's check out the Lume. But there you go. Lume is very nicely applied to the hands, the indices. There's a little pip in the bezel, and there's a little bit of Lume in the second hand so that you could see that the watch is working in the dark. It's not a lot, but it's there, and you can see your watch is working. I love that. This is a great watch, and I think it's really good looking. And I think that Venezianico are obviously an Italian brand. They are thinking outside of the box. They are trying to come up with really cool dials, and they offer them in limited editions. It's definitely something fun and definitely something different. Like I said, I've never seen another dive watch with an opal dial. I've seen plenty of mother of pearl dials, things like that, but never an opal dial. Very cool, really good looking. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. Price on this is $1,395. It's on the more expensive side for even Venezianico, who have made some pretty cool watches that are on the more expensive side, but this is on the more expensive side for them as well. This is a special edition with a very special dial, and it is limited to 500 pieces, so it's slightly more expensive than what they normally offer, but this does come on the bracelet standard. I don't think it comes with the strap as well, but I know it comes with the bracelet. Obviously, you add for that as well. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. I want to hear from you guys. What do you think of this watch? What do you think of what Venezianico are doing? They've become rapidly a favorite of lots of people out there who love micro brand watches, and they keep on coming up with some really interesting new dials that maybe other brands haven't thought of doing yet. And that's, definitely part of what being a micro brand is, and this is yet another example of that. Tell me what you think down in the comments below. I want to hear from you guys. Please also don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. It is super helpful for the channel, and I very much appreciate it. Anyway, guys, Happy New Year. Thank you for watching this video. I will catch you guys in the next video.